Why, hello there. You're listening or watching Something Sundays, and I'm your host, Colonel Dr. Acula, and today is Sunday, January the 2nd, 2022. So remember, when you're filling out paperwork for next few weeks, don't forget 2022. Well, what a year 2021 was. Disappointing to many, and even more tragic at the close of the year. On New Year's Eve, Betty White, at the age of 99, passed from this life into the next, just a few days shy of her 100th birthday. Our hearts go out to Betty White and her family, and all those fans all across the world. Rest in peace. So, I want to talk about a little experience that happened to me over the holidays. On Christmas Eve, strode up to a Kentucky Fried Chicken, put her order in well before closing, mind you. I'm not one of those types to actually show up at the last minute and demand I get a big old giant chicken dinner. But I showed up at this Kentucky Fried Chicken well before it closed, had to order in through the mobile app, because we wanted a traditional Japanese Christmas dinner. See, in Japan, Kentucky Fried Chicken's all the rage. That's what they eat. So, that's what I wanted to eat. I got through the window, and I was informed that, no chicken for you. They wouldn't even refund my money. They told me to call the number in the app, which there was no number. So I had to look it up on Google. And through that number, I could get my refund. Well, I couldn't do it until the next Monday after Christmas. And I called that number up, and I got a hold of this lady by the name of Samantha. And I will add, Samantha was really nice. I was not very happy, calling into this number, because not only did I not have Christmas dinner, I didn't have my money. So Samantha answers the phone, and I'm telling you, voice of an angel. One of the beautifulest voices I ever heard. And, she took care of my order, my issue, and refunded my order. Got my money back. So I was very happy with that. But, after that was resolved, I told her, I said, you should do podcasts, do radio, voice acting, something. And she told me, she said, well, funny you mentioned that. Have you ever heard the show Crank Yankers? I said, well, yeah, I like Crank Yankers. Has to be kind of funny. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Crank Yankers, it's a prank call show that uses puppets to reenact the pranks that they do. So they call actual real people and perform these little routine skits with them. She said, I'm on that show. And I'm like, what? You're on Crank Yankers? Well, that's awesome. So she then goes to explain that during one of the skits, they did a prank with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and she was on the receiving end. And she was explaining, she talked to Jimmy Kimmel and several times, and producers of the show, and they really liked her voice. They really loved her skills as a customer representative. And I could attest to that. She was very nice and friendly to me. So we talked about that a little bit. And I told her, I'm going to watch that episode. And when I do, I want to tell people that I talked to Samantha. That's featured on Crank Yankers. And you too can watch this episode. Just get on YouTube and type up Crank Yankers KFC. It's a pretty funny little skit. And you get to hear one of the absolute most stunning voices I've ever heard. She should continue on and do more projects with her voice. So that was kind of neat. A little resolution to something that had me quite frustrated. Well, moving on to other news. This one here is a really interesting case. This one comes out of Wales, over in the UK. Now, for you Kentuckians, when I say UK, I don't mean University of Kentucky. I mean the United Kingdom. Jolly old Britain and such. The headline states, Now, this is a good one. Psycho squirrel has 48-hour Christmas rampage. Terrorizes town. Injures 18. UK residents were left reeling after a crazed grey squirrel went on a wild Christmas rampage in Buckley, Wales, injuring a staggering 18 people in 2 days. Facebook posts detailing Rocky's reign of terror were going viral. Warning! Vicious squirrel that attacks, wrote Nicola Crowther in the Buckley Residents Facebook group on December 26th, along with a grainy photo of a furry culprit on a fence post. Has bitten me, attacked my friend, and multiple other people. It also attacked my 2 cats. My cats fear nothing. Then it attacked my neighbor's cats. She went on to add, dare not go out of my house, as it is lurking. It's vicious. Another bite victim told some news agency that she was taking out the recycling when the psycho squirrel jumped out at her, mind you, from behind the pins and chomped on her hand. I've got teeth marks on top and bottom of my finger, she lamented. Hit proper latched on and I had to shake it off. He's taken the top layer of my knuckle. His teeth are like pins. Davidson also uploaded pics of her bloody finger to the Facebook group with the caption, it had me good and proper, little shit. The nutty critter, which has since been dubbed Stripe, after the evil character from Gremlins, another Christmas classic. Was it really a squirrel or was it a gremlin? I mean, the one photo that the dude uploaded was grainy. Can you trust it? Apparently the squirrel did not discriminate in its attacks, lashing out at the old, the young, and pets alike. Not even the children were spared. It bit them everywhere. Legs, heads, hands, arms. No body part was sacred from this squirrel's wrath. It even chased people down the street. A lot of people erred on the side of caution and went and got a tetanus shot. Because you don't want your jaw locking. But that would make it for quite a miserable end to 2021. One victim said, after arriving at the hospital, I had to have a tetanus jab because a squirrel broke my skin. Said technician Scott Felton, 34, who was ambushed by the psychotic tree hopper while smoking on his patio. So, as if smoking was not dangerous enough, being on your patio in Wales is even more dangerous thanks to Stripe the squirrel. Salvation did finally come, and the reign of Stripe, the evil hellion from hell, was captured by Corrine Reynolds, who is known locally as the Bird Lady. The mom of 7 had been feeding the squirrel since, well, before the summer, but decided to act after getting bit on the hand herself. She said all the Facebook posts regarding attacks led her to believe that she needed to do something. And since she was familiar with this squirrel, she should be the one to do it. And so this was not like Stripe at all. He was always a friendly squirrel. She believed something went wrong with the poor little feller, and that's what caused him to act out. Mostly he was probably, well, that's not what she said. That's what I'm saying. I think it's mostly due to the fact that poor old Stripe was fed up of 2021 and decided that, you know what, screw this. I want to bite all these bastards. I really don't blame Stripe. Sometimes I feel like running down the street biting people. I don't, though. There's hope for 2022. So they ended up capturing Mr. Stripe, and sadly, Mr. Stripe was euthanized. So it turns out it's actually a very sad story. I don't know why I told you that. Maybe because I'm just so used to telling sad stories anymore. I know, disappointing. I'm afraid we should just get used to it. This year probably be no better. But hey, guess what? There's like some good stuff happening. At least I think. Let's check my list. Oh yeah, this is something. See, I got my list of stuff to talk about. It's bulletin boards, mostly. 2022 will be known as the Year of the Tiger in the Chinese zodiac. Well, actually, more precisely, the water tiger. And apparently, the Year of the Water Tiger, when it comes around every 60 years. And, well, technically, it's still not even the Year of the Tiger yet, because it's based on the Chinese zodiac, and the Chinese New Year is not until February the, first? Yeah, February the 1st. So, it's almost Year of the Tiger. Water tiger. What does that mean? Well, they say, well, I don't even know what it means. It's just something you get on your Chinese fortunes. The little fortune cookies. And read on these astrology websites. It gives us something to do. So take it for what you will. Speaking of China, in February 4th kicks off the Winter Olympics in Beijing. Hey, yeah, Winter Olympics, right? It's time for them. 2022. I mean, if words could describe just how excited I am for the Olympics, that would be something. Because really, I'm not excited at all. I could care less about the Olympics. I could even care more or less. I don't care at all about the Olympics and China. So, since the last podcast, I've seen a few movies. And I don't think I mentioned this movie in my last podcast. I didn't listen to it after I recorded it. Why do that? I lived it once. Army of the Dead. It kind of seems like I might have talked about that. Oh well. Army of the Dead, Netflix movie. Starring Dave Bautista. Is that how you say his name? Bautista? I always thought it was Batista. Maybe it is Batista. Anyway, the cool dude from Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's been in Blade Runner. He's in Dune. Big wrestler dude. Pretty good actor. Yeah. Him and a bunch of other people go fight zombies and stuff. Not a bad film. Pretty cool. Should probably check it out if you like such. Don't Look Up. No, that's the name of the movie. You can look up if you want to. I don't care. Like if I look up, I see the ceiling. If you go outside, you see the sky. But in the movie Don't Look Up, it's about an asteroid that's going to hit the Earth. It's actually a pretty fun movie. It's about how stupid people are today. A political and satirical comedy about how people act in the face of disaster and just everyday life. That's a Netflix film too. You should see that. Red Notice. That's a pretty good film. That stars The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. I think I talked about that too. Yeah, watch it. Whatever. Alright, the last episode I talked about how my favorite movie was The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt and a bunch of other people. Great movie. I've since seen Last Night in Soho. That is definitely the best movie of 2021. Such a great film. Last Night in Soho is probably the best film I've seen in years. It's kind of like a dramatic thriller horror, but it's shot wonderfully and beautifully. Some of the best cinematography. The music is really well done, in the fact that it's interwoven into the story. It's beautiful, it's terrifying, it makes you mad, makes you fall in love. It's a must watch. So even if you're not a horror fan, I suggest you actually take one for the team and go watch it if you're a fan of movies at all. great film. Best movie of 2021 by far. And a year with really great films. 2022. You know, there's a lot of stuff going to happen this year. Stuff we know about. Stuff we don't know about. My mustache was itching. Well, I can't talk about the stuff that I don't know about, because they haven't happened and I don't know about them. But what I do know about is some films that's coming out this year. And this is not a list of everything that's coming out, because there's a lot of stuff. But this is a list of some things that I personally find interesting that's going to come out in 2022. We're going to start the year on January the 14th with Scream. That's one day before my birthday. I'm a Scream fan. I like the series. And I'm really interested in seeing how this one goes. Definitely probably won't watch it in theaters, because I just don't think it's a theater movie. Definitely will watch it when it's available to stream, or, you know, comes out on DVD or whatever. Morbius. You know, the Jared Leto vampire flick hits theaters on January the 28th. I definitely might see that one. I'm kind of interested to see how that goes too. Well, I'm actually interested to see how they all go. That's why they're on this list. So I don't have to say that anymore. Pretty cool concept. Marvel gets a little darker, introducing the more horror aspect. See how it goes. Orphan, First Kill. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this movie, it's a prequel to the 2009 movie Orphan. Go see that and prepare for this next film. I reckon it's got some really cool practical effects and some CG effects in it. I can't really say what, because it'd give it away if you haven't seen Orphan. But definitely check it out. It's January 28th. February the 4th, Moonfall. Now, I know very little about this film other than what I've seen in trailers and on posters at the theater. So apparently the moon's going to crash to Earth. And it's like hollow. It's like an alien spaceship or something, according to one of the posters I saw. Looks like there was some construction work in a hole in the moon. And the trailer has like this nanoparticle robot stuff attacking people. Well, it seems like a really good film. The moon's going to come to us, or whatever the tagline says. I will see that in theaters. You know, I'll have that large popcorn, and I'll be just munching away, staring at the screen with the best of them. Death on the Nile, February 11th. Gal Gadot and some other people. Seems to be a really classic character-driven film. Probably based on a book or older movie. I don't know. I'm not as cultured as people really think. I just pretend to be. But I'm interested in it. I'm really hyped for this one. The Batman, March 4th with Robert Pattinson. Funny thing about Robert Pattinson, I was never a fan of him because of Twilight. I've seen all the Twilight movies in theaters, and I don't think they were bad. I think they were pretty good. It's actually a pretty decent little story. Even though I don't like it, per se, it's not my thing, it's not my favorite type of story, it's good enough that, yeah, it has merit. But I didn't like the characters. I think they all, you know, looking back, they all did a pretty fair job, except for Kristen Stewart. She's a train wreck. She don't have facial expressions. Looking at Robert's stuff since then and looking back, I think he actually did a pretty fair job. I just didn't like the characters, so I wasn't invested. I didn't really start liking Robert Pattinson until I saw The Lighthouse. Really love that film. It's very powerful and crazy, but made me appreciate him. So, you know, I've watched Tenet. I've seen a few of his other things that he's been in. And when I first heard about he was going to be in Batman. I was like, nah, not the dude from Twilight. He already played a bat vampire type thing. Well, of course, in Twilight, he was a bat vampire type thing. But bats are associated with vampires. Whatever. Don't judge me. Quit judging me. I see you judging me. Yeah. But after Lighthouse and after Tenet, I definitely thought, oh, he's going to be great in this new Batman movie. Yeah. So cool. Got Catwoman or something in it. I'm not sure. Why don't you go watch a trailer? Type in the Batman, Robert Pattinson, on YouTube. Watch it. Man, why'd you scroll down? Yeah, look at my list. I'm not professional in any sense. You know, I'm here. You're there. I didn't have anything else better to do, so I decided to do this. Well, I've been talking over 20 minutes now. God, I love talking. April 8th, The Northman. Oh, that's going to be a good one. It's about old Vikings and stuff. I really like Vikings. I have Veg Visor tattooed on my foot. It's like the Viking compass. And I got Viking runes on my fingers. So I like Vikings and Norse culture in general. Gonna watch that, and it's gonna have people fighting people and all sorts of cool stuff in it. I like watching people fight each other. It just makes me happy. Especially when it's Vikings and swords and brutality. Ain't it cool? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. May the 6th. It's been since 2016. Since Doctor Strange 1. Doctor Strange 2 comes out, what's it, 6 years later? Yeah. I'm not the best at math. Going to see that one in theaters. Gonna be fun. John Wick Chapter 4. May the 27th. Now, kind of like The Northman. You know, it's got brutality and fighting with swords and stuff. John Wick has had fighting with swords and stuff and guns and stuff. You know, it's always fun. He brings a modern take on killing and beating people up. You know, I guess The Northman is kind of like the classical, the old school style of hurting people. And John Wick is traditional. You know, he pays homage to those who came before him, who beat people up. But adds a modern spin on it. So yeah, it's going to be a banger. Top Gun Maverick, May the 27th. We'll get to see Tom Cruise once again fly airplanes. I think every movie he's in now has something to do with an airplane. Airplane's crashing, helicopter's crashing, or he crashes, whatever. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a crash in it. He's really good at crashing airplanes. So I'm looking forward to what, the 2-hour runtime? I don't know how long it runs. I don't know what the runtime is. But play a drinking game while you watch it. Every time Tom Cruise crashes something, you take a drink. You can do it with soda. I'll permit it. Jurassic World Dominion. June the 10th. It's going to have dinosaurs and stuff in it. You know, I didn't read anything about the plot of it. Sometimes I read about the plot of films. I don't like always knowing what the film is entirely about when I go into it. I mean, if it's a series that I like, you know. I may see the trailer, but I just don't try to read in word for word what the synopsis is. So, they're going to do dinosaur stuff. It's going to have Chris Pratt in it and that Dallas chick. I think her name is Dallas. There's a weird story her father told. You know, Ron Howard? You know, Dallas Howard is his daughter. He said, they named her Dallas because that was the city she was conceived in. That's creepy. I won't ever tell my kids something like that, much less name them. Ron Howard, you're a weirdo. You red-headed bastard. Thor, Love and Thunder. So we had the Northman April the 8th, which is about a Viking dude. So, July the 8th, we have a Viking god. Brought to you by Marvel. Thor Ragnarok director returns. Takakiti Wahiti. I can't pronounce his name. That's the best I can do. I've tried. One of my favorite directors, by the way. Great writer, funny man. Hoping a lot of the same improv that was in Thor Ragnarok continues. So, yeah. Cool stuff. See how they take it. See where it goes. I dig. Mission Impossible 7. Tom Cruise returns once again on September the 30th. He's going to do the impossible. He's going to try to land a plane without crashing it. But we know he's going to crash it. Or at least jump out of it. Tom Cruise and planes. They go together like stuff that goes together. Halloween ends. Okay, no, it's not going to end. You've probably seen all the Michael Myers films. How many times they've killed him? How many times they beat him up, set him on fire, shot him, I don't know, dropped him bomb in the ocean. I don't think they've done that, but it wouldn't matter if they did. It's just Halloween ends. Well, this trilogy is going to end. Not Halloween. Not Michael Myers. We'll find new ways in the future to drag him around and scare small children and babysitters and people all over the world on Halloween. I'll watch it. I'm a sucker. I'll watch a lot of stuff. Knives Out 2. Now that's to be determined. It don't have an official. Oh, Halloween ends is October 14th, if I didn't say. I guess you probably figured it was going to be sometime in October because, yeah, I don't think you would put a Halloween movie on a screen. Scream. Horror film, Scream. What a good Freudian there. I don't think you'd play a Halloween movie at Christmas time. Unless it's a Nightmare Before Halloween. Or Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm getting all kinds of tongue-tied. I should probably take a nap. After all, I'm almost owed. I am owed. Knives Out 2. To be determined. Now, the Knives Out 1 came out on Thanksgiving a couple years back. So that's probably the time frame they're going to be aiming for. I've read somewhere that it's going to be a Netflix series. So don't expect to go to the theater. Everything I've mentioned so far is going to be theater films. But this one is a streaming service. Daniel Craig reprising his role as the dude he played in Knives Out 1. Great film. So this one probably should be a great film too. It's going to have Dave Bautista in it. It's actually got a big cast. A lot of stars, if you like such. You might enjoy it. Avatar 2. James Cameron's epic about big blue aliens. Yep, that's going to come out December the 16th. God, how long's that been? It's been 10 years, right? This age where people forget stuff 5 minutes after it premieres. Is people even going to watch it? Well, I hope so. They got 5,000 of them lined up. That was exaggeration. I think there's going to be 10 in total. At least 6. The first Avatar, like most of James Cameron's films, have changed the film world, the filmmaking world. So, it'd be pretty neat to see how this one does, what it's about. And plus, Zoe Saldana, that Zoe chick, I'll watch her all day long. So, the rest of my list here is some rumors, possible things that have been talked about. Might happen, might not. There was one rumor. There was back in 2021, in December, Sherlock Holmes 3 was supposed to come out. Before we talk about the future of this year. In 2021, Sherlock Holmes 3 was supposed to come out. But when it came time to release it, within that time period, It never showed up. I don't know what's going on with that one. So we might get that in 2022. But no official word. I like that series. You know, the one with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. So, yeah. Roger Rabbit 2. Apparently that's been in the talks. They were supposed to start filming on it or something. Never did because of the pandemic. But it had a possible release date for this year, but it's probably unlikely because I haven't even heard about the camera even start filming. Beavis and Butthead 2. That's going to be announced sometime this year. It's going to be on Paramount Plus. Seems to be it's either finished or it's almost close to being finished. So sometime this year on Paramount Plus, Beavis and Butthead 2. And they're going to launch a TV series to go with it. Wesley Snipes. He's not in Beavis and Butthead 2. I'm moving on. Wesley Snipes, you know, he announced some months back, maybe about a year ago, that he's making another Blade movie. He's called Blade Killer. He's gonna, I'm not sure how this works, but he's wanting to make a Marvel. He's wanting to make a rival to Marvel's upcoming reboot of the Blade character. See, if you're unfamiliar with the Blade movies, they were pretty good. It was based on a Marvel comic, and the Blade films is what financed the Spider-Man movies. You know, the one with Tobey Maguire, those 3 films. So Blade kind of paved the way for Marvel to be such a dominant force in cinema. So that's pretty cool. But I don't know how Wesley's going to get the rights to the Blade character and make a competing Blade movie when Marvel's already doing a reboot. I don't see it happening. But I'd watch it if it did happen. Now this right here is just pure, just get your hopes up. Read about it, thought it was cool, thought it was, what if, you know, what if they made this happen? It'd be funny. Tommy Chong has said that he hopes to make a Cheech and Chong horror movie. He's worked some on the script and made a pretty good amount of progress. But he really sincerely doubts that it's ever going to happen. I think it'd be pretty stupid, you know, for Cheech and Chong. You know, if he writes a Cheech and Chong movie and they don't make it, it seems to be a pretty good market. I mean, especially with certain certain plants becoming legal and it being more acceptable in culture. Seems to be untapped gold there. Make the film. We'll watch it. So, you know, there's a bunch of TV shows coming out. Bunch of TV shows. TV series. Basically save you a bunch of time. It's all Disney, Marvel. Basically, the top movies. You know, you're going to have a Lord of the Rings prequel. You know, it takes place sometime in the 3,000 years before the ring was cast down into the fiery abyss of the mountain. So, we don't know when it's going to, what time period. So, don't expect any of the characters from The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings to be in there. Because it takes place such a long time ago. But that's going to happen. House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, again a prequel that's coming out. It's pretty cool because those are non Star Wars or Marvel related. But yeah, there's like 10 Star Wars shows. One of them, you know, Kenobi. It's going to be about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'll dig it. I'll watch it. Definitely. Been kind of anxious for that because I like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I think he was pretty badass character. Badass actor playing the character. Whatever. Yeah, a bunch of Marvel, Disney stuff. Alrighty. Well, I think that pretty much covers what I have on that tablet thingy. Anything you want to talk about? No? Well, until next time, I am Colonel Dr. Acula, and you are you, and I hope that 2022 sees and serves you well. May your days be happy and full of joy and whatever. Just have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Well, till next time, be good or be good at it.